Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Military History Chronicles. Got a new episode today. Going to get into the European dilemma. Specifically, issues going on with NATO. Specifically, what former President Donald Trump had said about NATO, and then also about the ongoing debate of funding the Ukrainian war. So yeah, it should be interesting. It should be interesting because I want to hear what you guys have to think about this too, and of course I'll give my opinion about what's going on out there. It's a little bit weird. Especially with the funding for Ukraine. It's kind of, I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's fracturing the Republican Party for sure. There's definitely some fractures within the party. There's one segment of the party that doesn't want to fund no more, wants to turn off the spigot, and then there's others that say, hey, we need to fund Ukraine. And I'll get into how I feel about it and all, but I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Anyways, welcome, guys. We're able to start a little bit early today, which is good. So it's not too late for some of you out there. I see Dan is in there. You guys talking about the Niners loss, how difficult that was. Yeah, I can understand. Benji, Aaron, I see Eric is out there as well. I'm sure we'll get some more coming in as we continue. I sent the link out. I think I sent the link out. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I sent it to him. So just waiting for him to show up. I don't know if he's got anything going on. He might have something going on tonight. But yeah, you mean real life stuff and not someone's OPS plus. That's pretty good, Aaron. It's pretty good. Yeah, because there's a lot of real life going on out there. That is for sure. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Interesting. Huh. Let me give this a like, because that's something that we probably need to hit as well. Oh, where is this? I'm just taking a look at Twitter because I've been pulling a lot of stuff out of here. That's where I'm finding a lot of the discussions. Ooh, what's this? I think that's an old one, isn't it? Yeah, that was an old one. Yeah, that's an old one. All right. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, world's going insane. Pretty good there. Yeah, that's probably a good word to use. World is going insane. What's up, Arrow? Thanks for joining. How's it going? I was going to do this last, but it's just to give me at least I would be able to do a nice thumbnail for this one. Yesterday, I was just going to kind of do a generic one. But yeah, so it's nice to be able to push it out a day. Where do we want to start? They kind of go hand in hand. Maybe we'll stick with the Ukraine funding. And Trump would make it worse, especially with his comments recently. Yeah, not liking that. I kind of talked a little bit about that. Yeah, I talked a little about that when on my last live. Yeah, I don't understand that comment. That doesn't make sense. Look, okay. Well, I guess we'll get into the NATO thing first, since everyone's talking about Trump here. His comments basically was saying, if Ukraine doesn't pay their fair share, what's up, Morkana? If Trump or if European nations don't pay their fair share into NATO, then he welcomes an attack from Russia into NATO into NATO nations. Woo! Not exactly how you handle your friends, your allies. Yes, alliances are important. Don't get me wrong. Alliances can also get you into trouble. They can. World War I is a perfect example. But more let's say instead of alliances, let's say, how about having allies or friends? That I think is what is important. You don't want to be uh, traveling down the life's road being by yourself, right? And that's exactly what Trump is on the path of doing. You know, you want the United States to be isolated. It's not going to turn out too well. I don't understand it. Now, I do understand the gist of what he's trying to say. He wants them to pay. Now, look, I got to find it. I don't think it's specifically in writing where they say NATO members have to pay 2% of their GDP in defense. It's a quote unquote target. It's an aspiration. This is what we would like you to spend. Okay. And let's not forget who was the primary actor in getting NATO formed. How did it get off its feet? It was because of the United States, right? United States was the primary actor in getting this alliance done. So it's not like this is something that we're just bought into. And and another thing, it's you're not paying for protection. Doesn't that kind of sound like mafia-ish? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, you got to pay for your protection. You don't pay for your protection, well then guess what? Bad things will happen to you. That's not how you work in diplomacy with other nations. It just isn't. That's not how you go about business. There's other ways you can do it that doesn't call for the invasion of your friends just because they're not paying a certain percentage. And if you look, and I'll have to bring this up later. I know there's some graphs out there about which nations are contributing and which are not. But one thing I know for a fact, that there is some of these nations, even though they're not paying 2% into NATO, they're contributing mightily to the fight in Ukraine. See, these two kind of go hand in hand. So even though they're not fighting per se, or not funding NATO, they're funding Ukraine to fight Russia, which is kind of what NATO's there for anyways, right? It's to prevent, or if there is an attack by another nation, it could be Russia, we'll just use Russia as the example because that's what it was, the Soviet Union. That's what it was initially made for. But yeah, they're contributing. So you can't say that they're not doing their part in defending Europe, because that's what they're doing. Speaking of which, do you know how many times Article 5 of the NATO treaty has been quote unquote activated? Does anyone? I'm gonna go put that out there to you for the chat there. How many times? And to kind of recap what I've said before, Article 5 is the specific language within the treaty that says if there's attack on one NATO nation, it's an attack on all. All right. So there's only one time where Article 5 has been in effect. Only one time. You guys might know it, maybe. Just think about it. Think about it. Ever since 1949, when NATO was established, up to present day, when has Article 5 had to be implemented within the NATO? Very good, Benji. Yep, absolutely. 9/11. Other nations came to our help because of the events of what happened on September 11th of 2001. There was a lot of European soldiers who died in Afghanistan backing us. They have spent their blood because of Article 5, which was and the reason being it was because we were attacked. They didn't have to do that. I know there was other nations. The ones I know specifically, Germany, Italy, Netherlands. I'm trying to remember. I know there was others out there too. Those are ones I just know off the top of my head. And as a matter of fact, there was a NATO contingent that was in support of. Actually, the whole thing was a NATO operation. So, and that's because we were attacked. If it wasn't for NATO, we would not have other nations, because of, we'll say because of, okay, it's because of the alliance and that treaty is why they came and help us. Now, if the treaty wasn't there, would other nations have helped us? Yeah, I'm sure they may have, but there was no obligation like it is for NATO. So it's kind of, you got to think about this, guys, especially the people who are running the government. Hey, let's remember what has happened in the past. Yeah, it happened in the past, but that kind of that lays the foundation of what's happening today and what can happen into the future. Do you want to damage that relationship you have because of money? Really? Thanks, Jim. But seriously, is that what you want to over because of money? Really? I don't get that. And all that's doing is it's further, and think about this. Here we go. Benji, what is Trump's argument against strengthening NATO, our NATO alliance? Does he think we waste money on these? Yeah, I don't know. And let's think about this. Let's put this in the bigger picture when you're talking about NATO. Everything is falling into Putin's lap. This is what Putin was waiting for. This is exactly the issue that I was worried about when the war first began in Ukraine. Was what is this going to do to NATO? Is it going to fracture it? Is it going to split it? Is it going to crumble? Or is it going to be strengthened? And for the most part, I think it's been strengthened. You're seeing nations supporting Ukraine, even though they're not a NATO nation, right? They're not in NATO, but yet we're giving hardware and the means to be able to take the fight to the Russians, right? Not just us. Most of Europe is doing that. But the issue I was worried about, Putin, I think, calculated that NATO would not gel together. That there would be splits in the alliance, and he could be able to successfully invade Ukraine. Well, guess what? Guess who's causing that division right now? Specifically, Donald Trump. That's who's doing it. I mean, it's ridiculous that it's come to this, where we have a guy in the Oval Office currently who has absolutely no clue where we're at. And you got another guy who's probably going to be the next president of the United States, unless he goes to jail, who wants to fracture NATO, who wants to basically hand Ukraine over to Russia. I don't understand this. It makes no sense to me. I mean, what happened? What happened? I remember in the past, America is pretty galvanized in defeating the Soviet Union, right? Who hates NATO? Donald Trump and those who support Donald Trump. See, I don't know why you guys aren't getting a notification. That's weird. I've set it up. I know you guys supposed to turn on notifications. I don't know if that's on your guys' end, but I don't think there's anything I could do. Trump didn't say that. No. Okay. He didn't use the word hate, but when you sit there and say he advocates Russia invading Europe or NATO nations if they don't pay their fair share. Okay. I could see where it's not hate, but I mean, when you wish for the invasion of an ally, that's not love. That's not support. It may not be hate, but boy, it's pretty close. You have to have friends. This is the problem. This is one of the flaws that Trump has. He's very egocentric. I mean, come on, guys. He's a narcissist. Let's be honest here. He's a narcissist. It's going to be done his way or no way. And if you don't agree with him, then you're out of favor. You've been exiled, right? I mean, just take a look at his cabinet during his first 4 years. It's dysfunctional. It really is. He's had so many people either quit or he's fired, and it's just, look, you can't. Sometimes you have to have a different voice in the room, right? You may not follow it, but you listen to it, and it may be of some value. But that's not how Donald Trump is, and that's the issue that I have. And that's an issue that can create even more problems for our nation. Lex Luger. The Rock. But I don't like this. I don't like this. And it just makes, like I said, it doesn't make sense where Putin was relying on NATO fracturing. It was coming together. And now the one person is going to possibly be the future president of the United States who's going to be the one that cracks it. It's just, it's incredible. I don't like it. Yeah, it got everyone's attention, but that's not how you go up. But that's not what you do, right? Come on. I want someone in the Oval Office who will project strength without having to get in front of a microphone and make it about yourself and make it about a talking point in trying to get elected. I don't like that. That is not, to me, that is not what I'm looking for in a president. And it's scary. And what are these European nations doing now? They're looking at us with, I don't know, not us specifically, but what's going to happen. And then you got these members of Congress who are falling right in line with Trump. And that goes, and this is going straight into what we're going to talk about now, the Ukraine funding. You got a lot of people out there. I don't understand it. I've heard it on the radio. I've seen it in Twitter. I've heard it on TV. There's people, and I hear, oh, well, Ukraine's going to lose anyway, so why do we fund them? Ukraine is going to fail anyway, so why do we got to keep funding them? Or, what's the purpose of supplying Ukraine with the means to fight? We're not sending American boys and girls over there. There's no blood being shed by Americans unless you're volunteering yourself to go over there, which is, there's a video out there, which is fantastic. There's a combination unit that was volunteers in Ukraine that wiped out a bunch of Russians back in the summer of last year. It's fantastic. And anyways, but you don't want to fund them. All you're doing is giving them the means to be able to fight. But for some reason, people don't want to do that because of their own agenda, right? Now, don't get me wrong. They make some valid points. There's other things that also need to be looked at. Absolutely. Doing one thing doesn't mean you can't do the other, right? I've said this so many times. We could do a lot as with this thing. We could do a lot. We could do more than one thing at a time. What is Biden's? Okay, what is Biden? You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. But here's the question, or here's a better answer that I can answer. Tell me, in any war, is there, quote unquote, a timeline of saying this is going to happen at this time, this is going to happen at this time, and then the war is going to be done by this time? That doesn't work in war. War has its own way of dictating timelines, right? Now, I'm not saying that Biden is legit, because the guy has no clue. I don't know what the policy is for Ukraine, to be honest with you. I don't know. I just know that Ukraine is fighting for their lives because they don't want to be taken over by the Russians. Who does? Tell me who would want to be under Russian rule right now? Who? You think Ukraine's going to be better off under Russian control? Or do you think there's going to be there's been atrocities ever since the war started, but what do you think is going to happen? You can't let Russia win this. You can't. And now, does it mean that you achieve all the objectives that you want? I'm talking about Ukraine. Are they going to be able to attain all the objectives they want? Probably not. Let's be realistic. They probably are not. But they should be able to get to the point of where they could dictate certain terms to where the war stops, right? Without giving up land. And it's got to be legitimate factors put in place to ensure that it happens. Oh, absolutely. Putin went in because he sensed weakness in Biden, 100%. But I'm not going to, Cryptic, one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit there and say that Putin still wouldn't have done it, even if Trump had a second term. Right? Because I think Putin was eyeing Ukraine for a while. And if he understood how Trump felt, think about it, Trump had been saying the whole time, get out of these wars, right? We got to get out of Afghanistan. He started it. He started the pull out of Afghanistan. He doesn't want to be in these long, drawn out wars. He wants to pull everything out. He doesn't even want to be part of NATO. So you tell me that Putin would have not still invaded Ukraine if Trump was in attack. I mean, these are what ifs. I hate kind of going down those roads, but it's a good exercise to see, where was Putin's mindset? Putin's going to do what Putin's going to do. And if he senses weakness, or if he senses that there's not necessarily weakness, but if he sees there's an opportunity to strike, he's going to do it. He's done it. He did it in 2008. He did it in 2014, and he did it in 2022. Not to mention all the other things the crackdown he does in his own nation. It's just, I don't get it. And yesterday on X or Twitter, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of the Spaces? Have you ever heard of that? The Twitter Spaces or X Spaces, where people can, hey, what's up, Kyle? Where people can listen in on, like, they'll have a dialogue back and forth, like a discussion. And it was Senator J.D. Vance, Senator Mike Lee, Senator Ron Johnson, Elon Musk, David Sachs, and I think that was it. But they were talking about why not to fund Ukraine. And it was funny because they had a PDF linked in there that I went to, and it was JD Davis's opposition to Ukraine funding. And the funny thing is, it was more that document dealt more with Trump than it did with funding Ukraine. Whatever. I didn't understand it, but okay, whatever. It had absolutely nothing. I mean, there was nothing in there about, maybe Ukraine needs to do their own thing and blah, blah, blah. Did I say JD Davis? I don't think I said JD Davis. Did I? Did I say JD? I probably did. JD Vance. I said JD Davis. I don't know why it is. I always say JD Davis, but JD Vance, if I'm mistaken. But it made no sense. It was more about, Trump tried to get impeached for sending funds to Ukraine, and if we do this again, and if they pass this bill and Trump decides not to fund them, he could get impeached again. I'm like, what is this? Really? Is this where we're going with this? Is this where the dialogue is going when you're talking about funding a nation who's being, I did say JD Davis. Of course I did. You're not going to fund Ukraine because you're worried about a future president possibly getting impeached? Man, what world are we living in? America first. I'm good with America first. Okay. Tom, I get what you're saying. So tell me, why can't we do both? Why can't we fund Ukraine in their fight against an invasion and also take care of what we got going on here in the United States? I don't understand it. Are we that weak? Are we that incapable? We can't because of politics. There you go. That's what it comes down to, right? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to the politics. They're making everything's politics. And then, that's kind of been the history of the nation anyways. I mean, that's the history of any nation. Politics is always involved, right? But come on, there have been moments in history where people have, put politics aside and accomplished great things. Yes, we are way too divided, 100%. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why we cannot take, because America, okay. And honestly, is funding Ukraine, how's that taking any funding away from what's happening here in the United States? I don't understand. Now, where can the money go here in the United States? Yeah, we got a huge drug problem in the country. I think we need to focus a lot of money on getting people who are addicted to drugs. That's a huge mental health. That's a huge thing that I think needs to be done. But are you telling me that's going to cost so much that you can't support a nation that needs help in Europe? I don't understand. And I don't think government should run everything, because look, the government should incentivize people and incentivize the private industry, private enterprise to tackle some of these problems, right? That's the way you do it. You don't want government controlling everything. You can't. If you want government to control everything, you're just going to wind up just like it is what's going on in Russia and any other totalitarian regime. You can't have government control everything. There's checks and balances, right? But let's get out there and actually take care of those problems. The border. Okay, let's talk about the border, because I know that's a big deal. Does controlling the border, does that really cost money? Or is it just the enforcement of the laws that are already on the books? It's enforcement. It's not about money. That's what it's coming down to. Yes, secure. There you go. Securing the southern border. The border is secure, but you're not enforcing the laws that are on the books. That's the problem. You could build all the walls that you want, but guess what? People are going to still find a way to get in. You got to figure out a way to enforce it. Look, people are coming across the border. They're being let in. It's not being enforced, right? That's the problem. That's the issue I have. That's it's not right. Am I right, Will? Is it money, or is it just you got to enforce the laws? I'm talking about the southern border, by the way, right now.
I heard it. Yeah, they're not enforcing anything.
You don't need billions of dollars at the border when you got Border Patrol. You could activate the National Guard, and guess what? You can enforce it. That's what it is, enforcing it, guys.
We have all the tools in place to do it, man. They just got to enforce it, and they have to recognize it for what it is, which is
correct.
Pretty much an invasion.
That's the issue, is because the current administration doesn't think it's an invasion because they're inviting them in, right?
Exactly.
That's the 100%. Problem.
They want them in, man.
So that has to change, 100%. But the problem is we're playing politics with this because we're linking that situation with helping in Europe. And then at the same time, and I already talked about this earlier, how I'm linking what Trump said about NATO with what's going on in Ukraine.
Right.
Because and I don't know, did you hear what I said earlier by chance?
No, I just hopped on.
I go, it's crazy because when Putin invaded Ukraine, what was he hoping? He was hoping NATO was going to fracture, right?
Oh yeah, which
he was laying his money on the table saying NATO ain't going to do nothing. But guess what? NATO has come together.
Right. Especially they have come together. Couple of months.
And then last week, the one person who could fracture NATO was Donald Trump. So Putin gets exactly what he asked for because Trump has just now created an issue with NATO,
right?
By saying, "Hey, you don't pay. I hope you get invaded."
Yeah, and he's stuck in his isolationist ways.
Yes, and the thing is, and I kind of talked about this. I said we can all agree that Trump is a narcissist. Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do. Same thing with.
Oh, yeah. Once I hear back. All right, what's going on? Oh shit, Jim. Wasn't that about a bitch? What a
Holy crap!
way to lose that
Had a
one.
coughing fit, man.
So bueno, man. So bueno.
But the one guy I was saying, yeah, no host.
Oh shit, there was dead air. Yeah, I had to go.
Yeah, it was dead air for a little bit. Oh well. I mean, you guys want to see me cough my ass off, or what? I mean, it's up to you guys. But
oh, good.
Trump fractured NATO by doing that. You know, I mean, it made NATO nations go, what are we going to be in for here? Because Trump right now is the presumptive president that's going to be elected in November. Unless, like I said, unless he goes to jail.
There's
who knows?
Insurrection. Remember that word weaponized now. So
yeah, that's a joke. But
sure hell is.
But that's what he's doing. He's creating that division within NATO when they're all coming together. And look, and I explained this to the chat earlier. It's content. Nice, Dylan. I like that. That's good.
Awesome.
The 2% it's not mandatory. It's a target that you're supposed to meet. Okay. Right. Now, should NATO participate or NATO nations? Absolutely, they need to. If you want to be part of the alliance, you should be doing that. There could be extenuating circumstances why they can't, but there's probably also situations where they're refusing. But ever since the Ukraine war has started, NATO nations are donating a lot of material to the Ukraine. They may not be contributing into NATO per se, but they are helping NATO by helping Ukraine, even though they're not a NATO country. So it's fostering that relationship because of that war.
You know, I could get where people say we're tired of spending money in other countries. I get that 100%. I'm a nationalist just like anybody else is. Mm-hmm. But I think right now, given the fact that you've got, I'm not really too worried about Russia. I'm worried more about China.
Yeah,
and
this is where I'm getting to.
Right, which is why we should be pulling our horns in. We should not be pulling our horns in.
This is. And it's funny. I was like, hey, I wonder if Biden's been watching Military History Chronicles. Did you hear his speech earlier?
I heard a little bit of it. He started.
Did you hear what he said? He said the world is watching. I was like,
the world is, yeah, it is watching.
I was like, wow, he's watching Military History Chronicles. How about that?
They just watched you confuse the Mexican president with Egyptian.
Can I put that on my resume? Presidential advisor.
That's a bullet point. That's going to be on your next NCOER.
NCOER, yeah, there you go. Oh my God. But I couldn't believe he actually said that. But no, there's truth to that. Because I'm telling you right now, there's people watching. Russia's watching. North Korea's watching, who just launched a bunch of cruise missiles into the Sea of Japan again today.
Yeah.
China is watching. It's good.
Well, the moment you say
it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
I mean, the moment you say you're going to pull your horns in, you're not gonna, you're going to be all about the United States first, which is great, by the way. I mean, you should always be U.S. first, but not to have a presence overseas. Yeah, next thing you know, you got China taking over Taiwan, expanding over in the Philippines. Now the Philippines are a colony. That's not what we want. That's not good for commerce either.
Here's another thing. Let me bring this up. It's now that we're talking about NATO. This guy's pretty good. I like Patrick Fox. Nuclear development by frontline nations could accelerate as the perception of traditional security guarantees breaks down. President Yoon of South Korea campaigned on doing exactly that. The Polish general, I can't say his name,
Holy shit.
They want to start getting nuclear weapons. This is the problem that you run into, guys. So if you lose your security,
now this is how wars happen right here.
Yes, security guarantee. What is a security guarantee? NATO. So if they see that NATO is no longer going to exist, they're going to start, you know what? We're getting our own nuclear weapon. That's the last thing you need, is to see all these nations in Europe having nuclear weapons.
And well, now you know, if they get a nuke, if Poland gets a nuke, guess what happens? Russia goes, oh, really? Okay. They go attack Poland now. They have an excuse to do it.
Yep. Let's see.
Go ahead and give them that excuse. You'll be speaking Russian in no time.
I'm telling you, but it's going to happen though. Did you see Russia put out an arrest warrant for the president of Estonia?
Yeah.
But they don't want it. But they don't want nothing to do with Europe. Remember, Putin has lied so many times in what he says he's going to say, what he says and what he does. It's Oh, and did you see the Democrats won that the Santos seat in New York? So that's another seat that flipped to the Democrats.
Wasn't Santos that weirdo who?
Yeah, he was the weirdo.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Imagine falling for that BS. Well, it happens every day. We got one in office right now. It's a POTUS, but anyways. But you know, going back to the border thing, the budget's already there for all this crap. All you gotta do is turn them loose. Turn them loose.
You know, you gotta do it. Just enforce the damn laws.
Son of a bee. I mean, it ain't that hard. I don't think Tom's got a question for you. What makes you think NATO is in trouble?
It's because of what Trump has said. That's why. Because they know they're gonna react to that. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
Because everyone sees that Trump is going to be the next president. So if he comes into office January of next year, what's going to happen?
We shall see, man.
He's made it known that he doesn't like NATO.
Oh, from the get-go. That's his platform. His platform is being an ultranationalist. That's his platform.
But here's the deal. You lose NATO, you got Russia coming in. I'm not saying that they're going to come in willy-nilly, but you embolden Russia. We've been talking about this, right?
Right.
What did Biden do that created this mess? Showing weakness. You show weakness in front of Putin, he's going to take advantage. You show weakness in front of Xi, he's going to take advantage. That's what's going to happen. And I'm sorry, but if you're not going to fund Ukraine to fight, since when do we give up? I heard it today on the radio. Ukraine's going to lose anyways. Why even give money? I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? Is this where we're at now?
Vietnam set the precedent for recording.
It's just ridiculous, man.
We let the public dictate what we do now. No, we're tired of it all.
Oh my God, man! Have some damn cojones, man. Right? What happened to the? You remember President Reagan? My childhood was run, you know, because he came in 80. Hell, I was 7 years old. And I got out and I was 15. And I remember Russia, and I remember, you know, he's standing in front of the Berlin Wall. But, you know, Mr. Gorbachev, knock down this wall, tear down this wall. What happened to that? Now it's like, go ahead and invade.
Well,
you don't pay? Go ahead and invade. Or whatever it may be. Or don't, you know what? Another country's being invaded. Who cares?
Well, you know, I think it's a sign at times, but the country's got ADHD, man. They don't finish.
No, I get it. I get that.
No finishing.
I get NATO nations need to pay their fair share. I get it. 100%. But that's not the way you go about it. You're a world leader. You're a world leader in the most powerful nation on this earth. And you cannot go about doing business this way. You can't. You know what? You're going to make me bring a book. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, too. If you don't have your allies' backs, if you just give up on them, it shows the rest of the world you don't, you know. There is nothing respected about politics anymore. That ship sailed a long time ago, my friend. Most indeed. Most indeed.
Okay, here we go. It's reading time again. Just bear with me, guys. This is coming from Leadership in Turbulent Times by Doris Kearns Goodwin. She's the one that wrote oh my God. Why can't I think of it? Does it have it in here? Hold on, it might be in here.
Well, shit, Jim. I think you're trying to trigger me, man, because I'm just going to say by existing.
Oh my God, I can't remember. Team of Rivals. Thank you, Aaron. That's the one. Team of Rivals. She wrote that one. This is Leadership in Turbulent Times. She used the examples of Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, and Lyndon Johnson, and the different things that they went through. But listen to this. This is specifically going to be, well, you're going to know who it is in a minute. To meet the terrible burden he faced, Lincoln pieced together the most unusual cabinet in American history, representing every faction of the new Republican Party, former Whigs, Free Soilers, anti-slavery Democrats, a combination of conservatives, moderates, and radicals, of hardliners and conciliators. I began at once to feel that I needed support, he later noted. Others to share with me the burden. Where President James Buchanan, that was the president before Abraham Lincoln, had deliberately chosen like-minded men, adherents who would not question his authority, Lincoln created a team of independent, strong-minded men, all of whom were more experienced in public life, better educated, and more celebrated than he. In the top 3 positions at the State Department, the Treasury, and the Justice Department, he places 3 chief rivals, William Seward, Salmon Chase, and Edward Bates, each of whom thought he should be president instead of the prairie lawyer from Illinois. When asked why he was doing this, Lincoln's answer was simple. The country was in peril. These were the strongest and the most able men in the country. He needed them by his side. Furthermore, Lincoln had sufficient confidence in his leadership that he would be able to meld this contentious, personally ambitious, gifted, yet potentially dysfunctional group into an administrative family whose loyalty to the Union was unquestionable. Where is that today? Where? There's none of that. Nowhere.
Could you imagine having a cabinet full of opposing people today?
You can't today.
Oh, shit.
I mean, you probably could if you had the right leader, really, honestly.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Trump actually did that, and it all backfired on his ass. But
yeah, the problem is he couldn't keep a cabinet.
No,
either he fired people or people quit because it was his way or no way. And I said this earlier, it's okay to have a voice of a differing opinion. Doesn't mean you have to follow it, but you may need it. It may help you.
Exactly.
Right? And that's where it's just, how did we go from that to where we are now?
Talking to you, General Miley, you piece of freaking garbage. If I see you in person, sir, it's a knuckle sandwich for you.
I mean, it's just, it says Ukraine is the 3rd most corrupt country in the world. Is number 1 the United States?
And that doesn't help. That does not help. That does happen.
Look, are they? And you know what? I get that, but you got to remember, Zelensky is trying to crush the because it's people in the quote unquote government below him. It's the deputies and all that stuff. But he's trying. Mm-hmm. Hey, appreciate that, Northern Lights. Thanks, appreciate it. Glad you like it. But he's trying to stamp it out. But what can a man do when you get the 800-pound gorilla invading your country, and at the same time you got to be able to make sure the guys who are working underneath you aren't lining their pocketbooks?
Right,
look, it's hard. I'm not saying, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying the reality is it's going to be difficult. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. But don't tell me that in any war that's ever happened that there hasn't been people shaving some money off the side for their personal gain. Of course it's going to happen, right?
Right.
The thing that they need is they need the means to fight. Artillery shells, artillery, aircraft, munition, you name it, whatever it may be. That's what they need. And that's what majority of it is that's being sent over there. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is the narrative I hear, and I'm hearing this both on the Republican side, and it's pissing me off, is you're hearing people talking about oh, you're just enriching the military-industrial complex. But then at the same token, they say it's costing too much because we're sending money over to freaking Ukraine. It's like, so what is it? Is it making you money or is it costing you money?
Right, exactly.
It's like, come on, guys. You don't even know what you're talking about. You know why? Because it's blind allegiance. I hate that. I don't like it's blind allegiance. Because this person says this, I got to follow it to the tilt. Yeah. And I hate that.
What's even worse is that they don't vote the same way I do, so I'm not going to do what they say. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do everything opposite. I'm opposite man now.
Yeah, what's
going on.
There used to be a middle in the country. Yeah, you always had your extremists on the left, the extremists on the right. Always have, always will.
Oh,
but it seems like majority of them are more. Their voices are a lot louder than it is what's going on in the middle. That's what it seems like. But it's ludicrous on what's happening right now.
Yeah, he almost had me go on the Google Foo there. I'm like, oh, and then he's like, oh, just kidding.
Wait, who's that?
Cryptic. The Giants. He said the Giants just signed Cody Bellinger.
Oh.
Oh man.
Nice. Who knows? You never know. I don't understand.
Well, 100%, Tom.
Oh, what's this?
That is our God-given right as Americans, man. The day that stops happening is time to leave, man. Let's go to South America or something. At least you can expect it to be messed up down there, right?
Hey, let's check this out. Here's a guy that kind of did he get a bad rap? I don't know. You tell me. You got your decision here. Yeah, it's absolutely 100%, Tom. 100% agree with you. Let me see. When you're talking about the right to criticize both parties for what they do and say, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with how it says some things. I don't agree with how it says some things as well, but he is not the president. Right. Problem is,
he's got a lot of influence.
Yes. And
if not more than Biden out in the sphere outside the United States right now.
It's a mess. Here we go. Anyways, there's, here, let me just play it. Remember this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Let's listen to what he has to say.
Well, Russia at the present time is at a crossroads. It is often said that the Cold War is over and that the West has won it. That's only half true, because what has happened is that the communists have been defeated, but the ideas of freedom now are on trial. If they don't work, there will be a reversion to not communism, which has failed, but what I call a new despotism, which would pose a mortal danger to the rest of the world, because it would be infected with the virus of Russian imperialism, which of course has been a characteristic of Russian policy for centuries. The West has, the United States has, all those who want peace and freedom in the world, a great stake in freedom succeeding in Russia. If it succeeds, it will be an example for others to follow. It will be for China, for example, to follow. If it fails, it means that the hardliners in China will get a new life. They will say, it failed there, there's no reason for us to turn to democracy. That's part of what is at stake here. Well, Russia...
Look at that. And you know when that was? That was 1994.
And you know who said the same thing? Putin himself during that damn interview. You thought the USSR went away, is what he said.
And look at that. This was 1994.
Right.
Nixon knew what he was talking about.
Yep.
He was sharp. Don't get me. Yeah. Okay. Nixon, did he really need to get impeacced for what he did compared to what goes on today?
What goes on today? Hell no,
come on.
Man.
Really?
No.
Everyone spies on the opposition. But he's going to get it was politics, but that's how it is.
Speaking of which, what happened to Russian collusion?
It's prophetic. That's 1994. Yeah, the walls come down, but Boris Yeltsin was still there. This is before Putin came to power. But Putin, because you know what it is? It's about history.
Exactly.
If you read history, you could come to those kind of conclusions.
So you don't want us to call it the Soviet Union anymore? Okay, cool. We'll do that. Fine.
I mean, it's amazing. But people don't want to.
Definitely mixed bag crap, but yeah, he was a shrewd man.
Yeah, the guy was a little bit of a weirdo, kind of, but no, he was very smart. The only thing that kind of sucked is, was it smart opening up China? I mean, it's that's a debate that can be talked about another time. Because don't get me wrong, you know, China has contributed greatly to economic booms in many countries. But
yeah, he opened up China, and this is my grandfather got from it for passing out Bibles.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay. Hold on. You guys want to watch some war footage? This is on Twitter. I should be okay, right? I should be. If it goes
man,
black,
I'll be so pissed if we get
if it goes black.
Stupid.
Okay, guys, this is combat footage that happened in Ukraine. I think it was Adivka. Hold on. Yep, Adivka. This is in August of 2023. So about 6 months ago.
All right.
Listen to this. It's a motorized. It's made up of Ukrainians plus foreign volunteers. If I'm not mistaken, I think it has Americans, Japanese, Swedish, and Irish.
Oh man, is it Operation Human Shield?
Check this out. This is awesome. All right, let me blow this up. I'm not gonna do it full screen because I don't know what'll happen. This is through Twitter, so we might be okay. So here we go. All right.
Whoa, that's called an IED.
Yep.
Come in. Up.
Well, now you gotta get off the X, man. Like, okay.
What the fuck? The fuck?
That was a drunk. That was a Russian soldier that surrendered.
Бій за висоту 105-106. Це
Called himself Kozak.
жорстокіший бій за будь-яку позицію, яку ми бачили. Вона є панівною, одною з панівних висот в смузі нашої бригади. І противник зосередив дуже багато засобів для того, щоб її втримати. Я думаю, що дана позиція в історії як зразковий штурм, який виконаний на характері, на натиску на противника.
I don't know Ukrainian that well. I know Russian.
I think he hits a mine, right?
Mine. Oh, let me see here.
You hear him? He said mine.
You don't stop on the X, homie.
Damn. I like the footage, how you get it from the drone and from the FPV.
Yeah, that's wild. And you got hit with the IED right there.
I think that was an RPG, no? Because they ran over the same spot. It's not a mine.
Oh, okay, I'm an RPG. Well, then they should be... Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to say, man. Be getting the F out of here. That's what they should be doing. They should be stopping. But he's got an AT-4. Interesting. Oh man, hit the dirt, homie. Oh yeah, that's the vehicle that gets smoking. Oh shit, man, you guys.
What's up, Vermilia?
Oh man. Hit the freaking dirt, man. What are you doing? Oh shit,
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm kind of watching it through Twitter, so I'm not kind of seeing what's going on in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching the video. Like, right. I'm commenting on the video actually.
Fair enough.
Look
at that.
Into the entrance.
Looks like the moon. If the moon had trees.
So back. Filter left into the entrance.
Who taught them these tactics?
Filter left into the entrance.
Whew. What was in that bag?
Oh, can't tell.
Oh, wow. Did you see him? He's right there. Did you see that?
And you got smoked.
He got smoked. You see that?
Yeah.
I saw it before they showed that little replay.
Moss, he's right there. He's right fucking there.
Well, keep shooting then. Keep his head down. That's what you're supposed to do. Shoot
Moss,
with
he's on the other
communicator.
side. Cover me, cover me.
He's going to grenade it.
We need to get in the fucking trench, boys.
That guy's supposed to be shooting right now. He's not doing. Okay, man.
There he is right there. No, that guy's got it because the guy that was showing had no helmet.
Right, but if one guy's going to throw a grenade, the other guy's to give suppressive fire. Keep your head down.
Go to the left.
Oh, we got somebody.
Hey, I'm gonna frag it. I'm gonna frag it.
What's up?
He nailed somebody. Right there.
This is back in August, Jim. You hear that?
But that's pretty close to him.
Yeah.
Don't frag. Weapon. Front.
Oh shit.
You good. Throw a grenade. Get in. Get into that corner. Push left hand and see. No, it's friendly's that way. Yeah.
Yeah, they're advancing.
There's a Russian right here.
Get out of the trench.
Where's Jay?
We need people here.
Oh shit. What was that?
He's getting shot at.
Now that was behind him though. Oh, he's going left-handed now.
So these guys, these volunteers have any? They have any formal training at all? Because
Probably not.
I'm
It's
just
probably
a
just
medic
on
here,
whatever
and
they learned when they were in the army.
I mean, I was just a medic. I'm tearing this thing apart already.
You hear the drone? Yep, I heard it. Did you hear it?
Suicide.
Suicide drone.
That came from fucking Yuki's side.
Got
Sure
it.
did, mate.
Oh, fuck. Ah. Fuck, I'm hit.
Yeah, bro.
Wrong answer. Start yelling medic because that might get you.
Oh,
Look at all the
fuck.
Look at all the blogs.
You look good, mate. You look good. Yeah.
Nice blood streak
shaking,
there,
man.
homie.
You okay? You're alive. You're alive. You all
It's
right?
a great.
Can I
A+
change
blood
positions,
sweep.
please?
Yep.
Oh shit! Oh no, man.
All right, spread out. Okay, keep spreading out.
Fuck.
Oh, he's Canadian. Need a patch?
Yeah.
Right. Can you get up, man? You're gonna have to get up.
Yeah, just let me get back there for a minute.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Oh. Jesus cock. Oh.
Hey, get the PKM, man. Video, got the PKM.
Oh.
You're okay, mate. Okay. Hey, push in the cover here. Okay.
There's some medical supplies right there.
Yep. The training. Oh.
Why are they standing up like that?
Ooh, what was that? You saw the tracer?
Mm-hmm.
That was a heavy machine gun, huh? Yeah, that's a heavy machine gun.
That sounds like a Dishka. And that's 308 fire. That's 7.62.
Damn, look at that. You want to talk about some close-in fighting? That's the heavy machine gun. What the hell was he shooting at? Was there anyone over there?
Hey! He's here on the left, be careful! He's here on the left, be careful! Where? Here, right here on the left, here. Left! Get into that position!
Oh, this is the one we saw earlier. Remember the guy was peeking the corner? Oh!
Mussey's hit! Man down! Man down!
Oh, shit.
Lay outside on the boat so I can frag it! Then frag it!
You're gonna frag it that close? Okay, never mind. Oh, shit.
There it went.
You're not dead!
Goodness gracious.
You're not dead! Get down there! Get down there!
Hey, Tom, I'll be answering your questions here after this.
Bunker!
So that says group Alpha, obviously.
Yeah. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, yeah.
He's got them fucking quick release! Bro. I've got it, he's out, he's out.
Nope, suicide. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Drop!
Oh,
Fuck! Suicide drone! Turn the fucking gun on!
They're coming for us. The suicide drones. We need cover. Hey, lift your, put your legs straight out. All right, Mossy. I'm gonna molest you a little bit so I can get these fucking grenades out of you. Can you hold that there?
he got hit in the shoulder.
Why don't you take a hit in the armpit? That would have been awful. Gotta pack the wound.
All right, one.
Just grabbing the frags off of him.
Can you get my belt?
Your belt, yeah.
Yeah. No, my actual fucking belt kit, bro.
Your belt kit's off you, buddy.
Cover me!
Just so you know, it was 22 KIA plus 2 POWs with only a loss of 2 wounded in action.
Stop it. Fuck.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, given how freaking undisciplined they are.
Oh, you see that? That blew up right in his face. What kind of gun does this guy have?
That's an AK. That's I don't know what the hell that is.
Fuck. Yep.
So if I'm not mistaken, I think Alpha was on the far right, right? Bravo's in the middle and Charlie was on the far left, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
What's that?
I don't know.
Was that a grenade or a damn suicide?
Yeah.
Something smoking.
Yeah, I guess.
The grenades don't smoke like that.
No.
I wouldn't go in. There's still a dud. It's too dangerous. I don't want you fucking get fragged.
Cover high, cover high.
Frag out! I wouldn't go in. There's still a dud. It's too dangerous. Hey, we phoned frags in here, but there was one dud. So.
He's taking him, he's taking him, he's taking him. Check him. See if he's got grenades.
Oh, yep. Back out of the office, mate.
Senior, the volunteers are, yeah, I forgot about
Тут зараз дуже
Canadians.
непростий момент, тому що між двома
Canadians,
позиціями зараз
Americans,
засіли
Irish, Swedish, and I think Japanese.
двоє відкотилися в сторону дороги, тобто вони лежать зараз на канаві.
Двоє росіян
Так, так, вони живі. і 5 відкатилося звідси.
Угу.
2 лягли вдоль дороги, і 3 будуть зараз в розривах лежати. І тобто в чому непроста ситуація, що по суті, що ця група, що та, яка знаходиться на тій позиції, придавити вогнем масовим, вона не може. Тому що, ну, по суті, це буде дружний вогонь. Так. І тому тут треба було вичікувати саме тоді, коли противник з'явиться в прицільний пристрій, і тільки тоді відкривати вогонь на ураження.
They're getting squeezed from both sides, huh? Oh, I hear it.
The freaking sound of that thing, man.
That's nuts.
Drone kamikaze, that's what the thing says.
That's what warfare's turned into. Is with these drones, and it's incredible. Oh shit!
Oh, let's start shooting. Oh,
this guy's surrendering.
Oh, screw that shit.
There's that guy.
The fuck! Stop!
He said, "I'm done."
Oh, God, is that? This is Buddy. His buddy just ate a bunch of shrapnel.
Yeah.
His buddy's at Buddy Lid right now,
He's gonna get full of bullets.
Oh, look at the suppressors.
I don't get a lot of them use suppressors. I don't understand it. That guy smoked.
Yeah! You got him! Hey!
Yeah, you got him.
Yeah, I got him! I got him! There's one more! I have 2! No!
The hell?
What is
Guy had
he-
street
What is he
clothes.
yelling about?
Oh!
Oh, shit. Adios amigos, huh?
How the other guy survive?
Why? Oh, on board this, I wear a bright blue shirt today.
God. I guess. They ran out. Look at that.
Holy shit. Oh, man.
Hey, Zeus is pushing up.
Yeah!
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
What happened to Alpha? Oh, it's Alpha and Bravo. Okay, there you go. Woo!
I wear bright blue shirt. It's my lucky shirt today.
My lucky shirt.
Oh, my God. All right, those volunteers need some work, man. That was a little bad. They're lucky they had to get smoked themselves.
What's up, Val? What's up, Mo? All right. Dan's both hosts knocked out at the same time. Yeah, the guy with the blue shirt survived. All right. Tom
shirt, man.
Tom Wyatt says, hypothetical question. How long would you continue to send billions to Ukraine like Biden said we do?
Shit.
Some Americans just want to know if Ukraine can defeat Russia and what it will cost. Are we do we give up? Do we just say the fight's just too hard? We can't supply you with no more equipment and you're on your own? Just live under Russian rule for the hell of it? I mean, if we could spend trillions of dollars on COVID, I think we could spend a few billion on trying to help a country defeat the aggressor. That's just me. I don't know if that's a right answer or a wrong answer. I don't see why America should tuck tail and run, because that's basically what you're doing. We complain about Biden showing weakness. Wouldn't that be doing the same thing, right? No, it's on Twitter.
Probably, Jim. You've seen what the Russians do to the Ukrainians when they get
bad.
Under?
I'm going to tell you something right now. If Russia took over Ukraine, do you want to talk about atrocities? All right. We already heard about the atrocities that happened during the war. It's going to be, look, Ukrainians understand what it's like to live under Russian rule during the Soviet Union, or even you could even go before that.
Right.
Russian rule has not treated Ukrainians very nicely. And after fighting them, I don't know. I can imagine. I mean, I can't sit there and say, you know what, just go ahead and try to fend for yourself. They don't have the means to do it. And you got to remember, we're not the only ones supplying Ukraine. Europe has pitched in a lot. A lot. I mean, it's quite a bit of how much the Europeans have come together to help Ukraine. And they're not even a NATO nation.
I wonder what the lifespan is on those volunteers, man.
Oh, you know, well, you know what they're, come on. You got Russians who emptied out the prisons to fill up the ranks. That's the enemy that you're fighting. You have a leader in Putin who's willing to just say, hey, you're a convicted felon or a convicted murderer. Hey, go fight for us. Well, how do you volunteer for Ukraine? I don't know how you volunteer for Ukraine.
Man. Screw that, man. After seeing
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But
those guys. Damn.
But for Russia, you don't volunteer for Russia. You're, as we say, voluntold. Exactly. There's a reason why they're fighting back. You don't want to be a tyranny like Putin running your occupy. Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. And to sit there and say that he wants peace, get out of here. Get out of here. He doesn't want peace. And I'm tired of hearing, and I don't know why this keeps going around, because I have not seen anything about this whole, there was a treaty in place in early 2022, and if they just signed a deal, get out of here. Get out. I heard David Sachs say that on Spaces. I was like, are you really running with that? You're running with that? Come on. Stop. There was no freaking treaty. There was no damn treaty.
All right, Jim, I got the answer for you. So apparently there is a Reddit post called Volunteers for Ukraine. And they have a guide on how to volunteer for service over there in any kind of capacity. Don't recommend anybody do that. Just throwing it out there.
I wouldn't do that.
That's the answer right there. That's where people are doing it, I guess. They're following that little guideline how to get into Ukraine right now and going from there. Well, yeah, man. Oh, I mean, I would not.
Oh yeah, this is quite interesting. Remember the Nazi narrative? What was the reason why Putin said he was invading Ukraine? To denazify it?
Denazify things.
Denazify. Remember Dmitry Utkin?
Who's this guy?
He was the right-hand man for Prigozhin. He died on the plane with him.
It's like a victim of meth.
Yeah, he's got the Eagle. He's got the SS, and I'm not sure what that symbol is. But what do you think he is?
Well,
probably a Nazi.
He just
Look
likes
who he's
fan.
pictured with. Look who he's pictured with.
He's just a Vikings fan. He's just a fan of the Vikings.
That's all. That's all. Get out of here.
He's just a fan of the Vikings.
Nazis. Yeah, Nazis in Ukraine. Get out of here.
How could you be? Hold on a second. This is very confusing. How could you? All right.
Get out of here.
How could you be a Nazi if you're Slavic? It doesn't work like that. Anyways, you're damn right, Tom. And you would know for sure because you've been on Earth a bit longer than most of us. Speaking of which, my freaking grandmother turned 97 years old today.
Hey, look good for her. Wow.
Son of a bitch, right? Man. Holy crap.
There, look at this. Death heads.
The old totem code.
In the Russian army.
That's been around prior to the Nazism. That's an old one there. And the same with the Swazi, but I mean,
I've seen this picture of this guy. It's a captured Russian soldier. Yeah.
He's got the eagle there.
No Nazis in the Russian army because they're there to defeat it, right? I saw that one earlier.
I appreciate that, Jim. I'll pass it on. Yeah, she's out in Italy. I got to send her a little message.
Gosh. Ah. Oh yeah, the mud's thick.
Oh yeah, that's right now, actually, right?
Yeah, that's right now. That's why nothing happens during this time. Yeah. Spring offensive is where it happens.
That's where old some guy named AH and another guy named Napoleon learned the hard way about all that.
Yep.
I just find that
but
hilarious.
It's just yeah, you're right. Let's just say it's one crazy mixed up world.
Sure as hell is, man. It's a very confusing time to be alive, to be honest.
It is. But like I said, all you got to do is study some damn history.
Yeah. Plenty of that around before they all censor it all or do some weirdness to it.
Yep. All right. Kyle, I reposted it, so you should be able to see it. Holy criminy. But I just don't know what's going on. And that's why I got the title, the European dilemma. It's a dilemma. I don't know what the right answer is, but one thing I do know is I don't want us to be looking weaker than we did before. I mean, Putin's already got us in this situation because of his weakness, right? We don't need more of it. And we damn sure as hell don't need a candidate that's going to foster even more division. I don't know, man.
Hell yeah, Tom. My uncle just turned 78 a couple of days ago too. So we got I had to go help out there in Lodi, man. I hit him up. He goes, I got pizza and beer. Life is good. I'm like, right on, man. Happy birthday, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a lot of February birthdays in my family. My grandfather was born in February.
Wow.
Strange. I'm an outlier, man. I'm an October dude.
I don't know. And then of course, we're not even.
Yeah, right, Dylan. You really don't.
I mean, this is specifically European dilemma, but the Middle East isn't calming down. As a matter of fact, it's amping up.
No, yeah, they're still doing their thing. And that's kind of been at the back burner for now, if you will, as far as the news or the MSM goes, because everything that's happening right now.
Well, they're starting to hit the southern part of Gaza. A lot of people are worried because supposedly that's where they're all holed up in Rafah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're accusing the Israelis of all kinds of atrocities. They said something like hold on now. This is interesting. So they said something like 1 million people have been killed in Gaza right now. What?
Really?
Where are they getting that number from?
I don't know. But you know what's starting to heat up? The northern border of I'm talking about Lebanon. Well, that's heating up. It's heating up. It's only a matter of time before that thing explodes over there.
The old Hezzies, man.
Hey, and let's not, you know what? Before I get into this, let me go warm up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Very good. Jim Everett has Bud Light. Well, okay. Little Caesars actually ain't too bad for the money. I mean, let's be honest about it. Well, they don't have $5 pizzas anymore, so hold on. Wasn't they about $9 now? Well, might be able to find something better. When I was living in the city, I used to go to this place called DNA Pizza right around from my building on Harrison Street. Was it Harrison and 11th Street in San Francisco? I used to walk over there and get. Oh shit, Jim! Hell yeah, me and Ed's. That's a Valley chain, my friend. Yeah, I'm a Fresno boy. I know me and Ed's all too well. That's a good one. I used to get this. I used to go get like this. I guess to get a slice in a beer at DNA for like I think it was like $7, but it was like a big old slice. What's up, Shardo? How you doing, man? Me and Ed's is good. I do love me some Me and Ed's. I think they got one in North Fork too. I think they got everywhere in the valley, really. North Fork, Auburn, Blackstone. Yeah, they have one on Clovis Avenue. Clovis and shit. What's the corner there? I can't remember now. It's in Sunnyside. Yeah, we lost Shardo. Got our asses kicked. Somebody decided to abandon the run and not give the ball to Ayuk and had a blown coverage here and there. And he's a Visalia, though. Good old Me and Ed's, man. I haven't had their pizza in a while.
All righty. Real quick, as we shut this down, the thing we got to be careful of, guys, is China's lurking out there.
Wow, 100%.
And we don't know what that can consist of. You got North Korea. They're, like I said, they're being a lot more confrontational than they have been. They've always been kind of loudmouths, and sometimes they'd lob some missiles over in this, but this is something different. I don't know. And of course, they're not going to do what they're going to do without permission from China. So we're spread pretty thin. We shouldn't be, but we are. That's just the nature of our country right now. Is we're spread pretty thin, and we need to not be spread thin. We need to be prepared. I brought up that old Roman saying, talking about if you want peace, you have to prepare for war.
Emperor Hadrian.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. That's what you have to do. I mean, if you want to keep the peace, if you think about it, even during the Cold War, we were the biggest mofo on the block, right? No one messed with us. And now that we've kind of stepped it down a little bit as far as our be able to projecting strength, it's not quite the same. You got people out there that they're provocating, and in some cases, out and out, what do you want to call it? Hell, war.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's just crazy. They need to do a lot more than that, Eric. I'm telling you. And the future is these damn drones and AI and all this other stuff. Autonomous vehicles, you name it. That's what they need. I'm telling you, aircraft carriers these days, if you're fighting a peer nation like China, those ain't gonna last long. You're just big giant floating targets. Mm-hmm. And you gotta have the means to be able to
what's the one thing that China is building up the most right now? Submarines. Out the yin.
Yes, they are.
Man.
Yes, they are. And they also got a pretty big surface fleet as well.
Yeah.
They're manufacturing out the yin yang. Literally. They are. They're manufacturing, and we're not. We're not manufacturing. Look up, there's stories out there about our shipbuilding capability. It's garbage.
Well, again,
repairing and building has gone down the shitter.
It's a competency crisis, man, we have in this country.
But this has been going on for a while.
Oh, it has. They've been preparing for this. I mean, again,
this has happened under Democrats. This has happened under Republicans. But we got people who aren't. They got other things to worry about. See, the problem is when the wall fell, you got Nixon said it, right? You get this false sense of security thinking that, oh, the enemy is gone. It's not.
I mean, when we were in, other than MRAPs, well, I mean, they even contracted MRAPs out. We weren't building those ourselves. They came from South Africa. That's
I think so. Yeah,
that's where the MRAPs came from.
It's stupid.
So,
we should be able to do it here in this country. And you know what? I hate. This might sound bad, but when you prepare for war, I'm not advocating for it, but when you prepare for war, what happens to your economy?
Oh, it goes up.
You create jobs.
100%.
Right? The other day when I was on, Will, the state of California, remember how many bases the state of California had?
Oh my God.
I went down the list. It was the state was an entire fortress.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Between Navy, the Air Force bases out the ass. You had a few Army bases. You had Fort Ord.
Missile bases. Fort Ord, that's where my grandfather was.
Yep. You had Marine Corps stations. You got the Marine Corps air stations. You got Navy bases. You got Navy air stations. And, of course, Air Force bases. But what's happened? I understand there's got to come to a point to where you're not going to be at the same as, quote-unquote, Soviet. But you got to keep your eye on the ball. If you see a threat, you need to be able to meet that threat. Because right now they even said with the amount of supplies we've gone through, it's going to take like 4 years to even replenish what has been done. Just to replenish.
Makes sense.
So who's seeing that and who's hearing that? China. So
good old Lemoore Naval Air.
Yeah, Lemoore Naval Air Station out there in the middle of nowhere between I-5 and 99.
You got a pretty good PX, man.
Do they?
I think they call it a NEX. Yeah, it's called a NEX, Naval Exchange.
Are they even still out there?
Yeah, man, they're out there.
Yeah,
I got my ID card down there once. I was
nice.
all hung the fuck over in that picture.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about, right? Yeah.
I was like this.
That's funny. All right, guys. Thanks for
God.
joining. I appreciate you. Will, thanks for joining.
Yeah, man.
Don't know when I'll do another episode. I kind of taking a bite because so many things are happening. Look, I just need the way the world functions. It just gives me the material to go with. So
100%.
But it was a good discussion out there, guys. I appreciate you guys showing the support. I love chatting with you guys, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Next show, let's see. Today is Tuesday, maybe. Who knows? Friday, maybe Friday, Saturday, maybe Saturday, since I can go a little bit earlier on Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, I would have to go a little bit later, but right now we'll say between Friday and Saturday. That's what we'll do.
I'll have a movie review by then. I'm gonna watch this weird one on Netflix tonight called El Conde.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know how that is.
General Pinochet is resurrected as a damn vampire. This is gonna get weird. It's gonna be very weird.
Who's a vampire?
Augusto Pinochet.
You talking about Balky Bartakamus?
We're talking about General Augusto Pinochet from Chile. Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Pinochet.
He's been resurrected as a vampire in this movie. This should be interesting.
Oh my god.
El Conde. Though.
Unbelievable. All right, yeah. Let me know how that goes, guys. Again, catch me on NorCal Sports Network Monday through Friday, 8:30. Today we had Marty Lurie on, so we went on a little bit early. Which was awesome.
Man.
That was a good interview.
I watched it.
And
I fell asleep too. That's why I was late. I had a big old bowl of potato soup and listened to you guys, and boom, I was gone, man.
But yeah, so Monday through Friday, 8:30, NorCal Sports, and then yeah, you can catch me on here. It's going to be either Friday, like I said, Friday or Saturday. Don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we'll have something. All right, guys. Thanks again, Will.
Later, dudes.
See ya.
Peace.